Moon Knight is a vigilante who first appeared as a wealthy combatant against crime, operating with advanced equipment, a white cloak, and a taste for nighttime justice. His main self is Mark Spector, a former soldier of fortune. He also uses the personas of Stephen Grant, a high-income investor, and Jake Lockley, a streetwise taxi driver. At the start, these separate names were only practical disguises used to gather information and fight criminals. Later stories changed this idea. By the early 2000s, Marvel presented each persona as a distinct identity within Mark's mind, explaining that he lives with dissociative identity disorder caused by earlier trauma. Mark is not simply switching masks, he is struggling with multiple alters that guide his actions. Another major development questions the origin of his powers. Mark believes he was revived by Khonshu, the ancient Egyptian moon deity who commands him to act as a protector of travelers and an agent of vengeance. Modern tales leave it uncertain whether Khonshu truly exists or is part of Mark's unstable thoughts. This uncertainty became central in later comics, where Mark's surroundings often twist into dreamlike, shifting landscapes that reflect his mental conflict. This reinterpretation transformed Moon Knight into a character whose adventures blend reality and delusion, keeping every event unpredictable and drawing readers into a constant state of doubt about what is genuine and what is imagined. Batman long believed he understood every corner of Gotham City, from hidden alleys to criminal networks. The emergence of the Court of Owls proved otherwise. This secret society was described as operating in Gotham for centuries, influencing politics and construction while remaining unseen. Children's rhymes warned of them, yet Bruce Wayne considered the stories nothing more than folklore. The court is revealed as a powerful cabal that embeds owl motifs throughout Gotham's buildings and even within the hidden passages of Wayne Manor. Their enforcers, called Talons, are lethal assassins taken from circus performers. These agents possess regenerative abilities that allow them to recover from fatal injuries and awaken from cryogenic storage after decades, ready to kill again. Extreme cold is their primary vulnerability, a detail that provides Batman a rare advantage. This narrative adjustment expanded Gotham's past without altering previous events, instead uncovering a long-hidden layer of control. The discovery forces Bruce to question his knowledge of the city he protects, creating an atmosphere of unease and mystery. Symbolically, the owl as a natural predator of bats underscores the court's role as an ideal adversary, one that undermines Batman's confidence and challenges his claim to mastery over Gotham. Wolverine entered comics in 1974 within the Incredible Hulk issues 180 and 181 as a mysterious Canadian operative with retractable claws and no confirmed past. His real name was unknown, and his origins remained hidden while scattered flashbacks offered only fragments. The major turning point arrived in the early 1990s with the Weapon X storyline, which exposed how he was abducted and subjected to brutal experimentation. Scientists coated his skeleton with unbreakable adamantium and wiped his memories, creating a living weapon rather than a willing participant. This revelation reframed him as a survivor of severe trauma instead of merely a solitary fighter. Further developments deepened his history. During the Fatal Attractions arc, Magneto forcibly removed the adamantium, proving that his claws were natural bone structures, not artificial additions. In 2001, the limited series Origin revealed his birth name as James Howlett. He was born in 19th century Canada to a wealthy family, and his mutant healing ability surfaced in childhood amid family tragedy. These gradual disclosures built a layered portrait of a man shaped by loss, manipulation, and resilience. Each new detail transformed his fierce demeanor into the expression of someone continually struggling to reclaim his life from those who tried to control him. For many years, the death of Bucky Barnes during a World War II mission remained one of Marvel's few unchallenged losses. Bucky had served as the young partner of Steve Rogers, the heroic soldier known as Captain America, and was believed to have died when an explosive destroyed their target aircraft. In 2005, a major storyline revealed a different fate. Soviet operatives had recovered Bucky's injured body, erased his memories, and replaced his lost arm with advanced cybernetics. They trained him as the Winter Soldier, a covert assassin who was kept in suspended animation between missions to maintain peak condition. This transformation turned a once idealistic fighter into a silent, highly skilled operative used for clandestine operations throughout the Cold War. The revelation intensified Steve's sorrow rather than negating it, as he discovered that his long-mourned ally lived on as a weapon of hostile powers. Eventually, Steve employed the reality-altering cosmic cube to restore Bucky's memories. Overwhelmed by guilt for the assassinations he had carried out, Bucky undertook a path of redemption and for a time even assumed the mantle of Captain America to prove his commitment to justice. This reimagining preserved the emotional weight of the original loss, while adding espionage, psychological conflict, and a modern sense of moral complexity. The Winter Soldier became a defining example of how hidden history and personal tragedy can reshape a classic hero into a layered anti-hero within Marvel's universe. Swamp Thing was introduced in the 1970s as Alec Holland, a gifted biochemist who suffered a lab explosion that drenched him in experimental chemicals. Fleeing into the swamp, he seemed to die, but instead emerged as a humanoid plant creature, a tragic figure longing to reclaim his lost humanity. In the 1980s, a pivotal storyline revealed a profound change. Alec had not transformed into Swamp Thing. Instead, a sentient plant entity arose from the swamp, inheriting Alec's memories and personality traits after his death. This meant the creature was never human, but a unique elemental life form that only believed it carried Alec's mind. This revelation introduced the Green, an immense network binding all plant life on Earth. Swamp Thing became the Green's chosen guardian, a living embodiment of the natural world charged with protecting ecological balance. His conflicts expanded beyond human villains to forces of decay and corruption, including the destructive influence known as the Rot. Guidance came from the Parliament of Trees, a gathering of ancient plant elementals who oversaw the Green and its avatars. Through this retelling, Swamp Thing evolved from a simple monster tale into an exploration of nature's power and the meaning of identity. The character shifted from seeking lost humanity to understanding a larger purpose as an agent of the planet itself, blending horror with philosophical depth and environmental themes. By the early 1980s, DC Comics maintained numerous overlapping worlds such as Earth 1, Earth 2, and Earth 3. Different eras of heroes coexisted with conflicting histories, making it difficult for new readers to follow. To unify this complex setting, the 12-issue series Crisis on Infinite Earths began in 1985 and reshaped the entire DC universe. The storyline introduced the Anti-Monitor, an immensely powerful cosmic being who destroyed universe after universe with antimatter waves. As entire realities collapsed, major heroes fought to preserve existence. Barry Allen, the Flash known for his connection to the Speed Force, gave his life by running beyond his limits to disable the Anti-Monitor's cannon. Kara Zor-El, the heroic Supergirl, also died while protecting her cousin Kal-El, the iconic Superman. The event ended with a single combined Earth that integrated selected elements from decades of stories. Duplicate versions of characters were removed, leaving one unified Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. This new timeline allowed for streamlined origins, including fresh beginnings such as Batman Year One, a modern retelling of Bruce Wayne's early career, and The Man of Steel, which reintroduced Superman. Wally West stepped forward as the new Flash, continuing the legacy of Speed after Barry's sacrifice. Crisis on Infinite Earths eliminated the confusing multiverse while honoring the most important history, creating a cohesive foundation that inspired many of DC's celebrated narratives over the following decades. Bruce Banner began as a physicist who survived a gamma bomb accident, transforming into the immense green Hulk whenever anger surged. Early tales portrayed him simply as a destructive alter ego, sometimes appearing gray, sometimes green, and shifting between brute strength and unexpected intelligence without explanation. Later stories revealed a deeper cause. The Hulk's different forms were connected to Bruce's dissociative identity disorder, rooted in childhood abuse by his violent father. The gamma radiation did not create his fractured psyche, but released hidden personalities. Each manifestation represented a distinct aspect of his mind. The Savage Hulk embodied his frightened inner child, the gray incarnation known as Joe Fixit displayed streetwise cunning, and the version called Professor Hulk reflected a fragile attempt to merge these selves. This understanding gave every change in color, intellect, and temperament a psychological basis, turning erratic transformations into reflections of long-standing trauma. Narratives such as Immortal Hulk expanded on these ideas, presenting the character as a figure linked to death, supernatural power, and forces beyond human comprehension, adding layers of horror and cosmic significance to his story. Hawkman spent decades with a history that seemed impossible to reconcile. Some accounts described him as Carter Hall, a modern archaeologist who is the reborn spirit of an ancient Egyptian prince. Others presented him as Qatar Hol, a law officer from the planet Thanagar. Each new explanation only added more contradictions. In 2018, a major storyline unified these versions. It revealed that every interpretation was correct. Hawkman's soul had been reborn countless times across eras, worlds, and even dimensions. He was not simply a winged hero, but an eternal figure destined to live again and again as part of an endless cycle of redemption. His many incarnations included warriors of ancient civilizations, explorers of hidden realms, and scientists from alien worlds. This revelation traced back to his earliest existence as Tar Deathbringer, a ruthless conqueror responsible for mass destruction. To atone for those crimes, he was condemned to reincarnate endlessly, saving lives to balance the harm he once caused. Formerly conflicting backstories became chapters of a single vast saga, turning past inconsistencies into a rich mythos. By embracing every previous life rather than discarding them, the narrative gave Hawkman a clear purpose and immense scope, transforming him from a character with confusing continuity into a hero defined by cosmic history and a quest for spiritual redemption. Green Lantern stories once centered on a straightforward idea. Hal Jordan wielded a power ring fueled by willpower, enabling him to overcome fear. In the mid-2000s, new narratives expanded this concept into the emotional spectrum, revealing that willpower was only one part of a vast range of cosmic forces. This spectrum introduced multiple interstellar corps, each channeling a distinct emotion and color. The Red Lantern Corps embodied unrestrained rage, the Blue Lantern Corps drew strength from deep hope, and the Sinestro Corps harnessed fear itself. Other groups represented love, avarice, and compassion, creating a full array of emotional power sources. Willpower stood at the center as the neutral energy needed to focus all others. The Guardians of the Universe, ancient beings who created the Green Lantern Corps, were shown to value willpower because of their rejection of emotion, explaining their original design for the rings. Earlier mysteries in the series also gained new meaning. Sinestro's yellow ring became a deliberate counter to willpower, and the long-standing limitation that prevented green rings from affecting yellow objects was revealed to come from Parallax, a cosmic entity of pure fear that had been trapped inside the central power battery. This expansion reshaped Green Lantern mythology from a single police force narrative into an intricate cosmic system. By linking every emotional state to its own core and weaving new explanations into older lore, the series gained broader themes, deeper conflicts, and nearly limitless storytelling possibilities. For many years, Green Lantern power rings shared a puzzling limitation. They could not affect objects colored yellow. Early stories explained it as a test of willpower, but the reason remained vague until a major shift in the 1990s. During the Emerald Twilight storyline, Hal Jordan suffered immense grief after the destruction of Coast City. In a desperate attempt to regain control, he attacked Oa, the homeworld of the Guardians of the Universe, eliminated most of the Green Lantern Corps, and absorbed the energy of the central power battery. Emerging from this act, he called himself Parallax and appeared to have abandoned his heroic role. Later revelations redefined these events. Green Lantern Rebirth revealed that Parallax was not a new identity for Hal, but an ancient cosmic parasite embodying pure fear. This entity had been secretly imprisoned within the central power battery for eons. Its presence corrupted the Green Lantern rings, creating the long-standing vulnerability to yellow and slowly influencing Hal's mind until he succumbed to its control. This explanation turned what seemed like a sudden, villainous turn into a struggle against possession by a primordial force. It also connected directly to larger events such as the Sinestro Corps War, the development of the emotional spectrum, and the Blackest Night saga. The once simple weakness to yellow became a cornerstone of Green Lantern mythology, enriching the narrative with cosmic danger and deeper meaning.